Welcome back to Brush Up Your Game. I'm David, and today we're taking a look at Calvary from Cosmic Conflict. This is, well, kind of a weird power, one you might not think of as being super good from the looks of it, but one that over the next few minutes I'm going to hopefully convince you is one that's worth playing. So, Calvary is all about playing encounter cards as an ally. And I am always a fan of the more cards you can play, the more times you can choose, voluntarily choose, to get cards out of your hand, the better off you are going to be as a player. So, what does Calvary do? Well, you have the power to reinforce. As an ally, and only as an ally, after encounter cards are selected before they're revealed, you may use this power, and may is a very key point there, to play an attack or a negotiate card face down from your hand off to one side. This second card is not considered your side's encounter card and isn't affected by game effects that target your side's encounter cards, such as Oracle, Sorcerer, etc. You reveal your second card when encounter cards are revealed. If your second card is an attack card, you add it to your side's total. It has no effect if your side's encounter card is a negotiate. If you reveal a negotiate as your second card and your side loses, then you get compensation as well. Right? So there's kind of no downside to playing a negotiate other than you didn't believe, and that maybe has some table consequences. But you might have been the first person into ally, and you're sitting there going, well, you know what? I believed. I brought in ships as the offense, and nobody else came. Or I brought in ships on the defense. I was hoping for the best. I was trying to get my rewards, and well, everybody went on offense, so I played the negotiate so that at least I would get cards. There's kind of no downside there. So, what does Calvary really get to do? How do you play Calvary well? Calvary is all about using even low encounter cards as bonus reinforcements, right? We see powers in even the base set, Mercenary, that get to use these cards between certain numbers, certain ranges to add to their side's total. Fodder can play higher than the low card, lower than the higher card. And it's all about pruning cards out of your hand that you don't want. Well, Calvary can stick the attack 15 and attack 20 as its reinforcement card. So Calvary can be a huge ally at the end game. Calvary can be the player you need on your side in order to win. Otherwise, you're not going to win. Calvary has that table talk advantage. Calvary can also be the player who's like, you know what, I got a handful of 4s and 6s. I'm not telling anybody that that's what I got. But I'm going to, use that to get rid of them so that I'm not playing those cards as my main attack card, my main encounter card. But a +4, a +6, even a +1 is still a nice bonus to bring in as an ally. That's more than most reinforcements. Calvary's contributing that every single time. Now, you contrast Calvary with, say, the human, who's always giving +4. The human has that auto-win ability. But I think Calvary is still a very strong power because Calvary has this extra hand management piece. Now, some downsides to Calvary. You are burning through your hand. You're going to find it very tough to hold on to artifacts and flares. So you kind of play this, I'm going to set the world on fire, or the galaxy on fire, the cosmos on fire. And whatever happens, happens. It almost fits into the artwork here. Everything's just on fire here. And what happens, happens. You got to go out guns blazing. If you really want to protect your hand, you're going to play negotiate as an ally on a losing side. Your goal is not always to be on the winning side, but instead you're portraying strength. And maybe you give up an offensive encounter, use big strength, and go take cards from somebody else. That's another way you can play Calvary. It's certainly not a bad idea. You can also give up your turns when you're attacked, and you can say, you know what, I'll be peaceful. No, 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 you can attack. You can land here. It's fine. Play a low card. I don't need it. I'm going to play negotiate. You're fine. I'm not going to put up a fight. Don't even say I'm going to play negotiate. Just say I'm not going to put up a fight. It's that table talk piece. Now, how do you shut down Calvary? Very simple. Don't invite him to ally. It's that simple. If Calvary is not invited to ally, then Calvary cannot use their power. Uh, Now, as the offense, that's probably easy to do, right? But the defense is going to want Calvary. The defense doesn't want to lose their planet. And the defense is happy to invite Calvary, give them rewards. And Calvary is happy to go, burn a low card, and get defender rewards. Whether you're playing with the defender reward deck or not, Calvary's still happy to draw cards, get ships back from the warp, whatever the case may be. So Calvary has this built-in ecosystem of, if you don't invite it on offense, defense is going to be happy to take them. Calvary is going to be happy to go, get more stuff. It's almost like a zombie or an observer. Calvary almost always wants to go. So, as the other players, how do you shut that down further? Well, sometimes you have to invite Calvary, get Calvary to come, and burn Calvary. You have to lose the encounter on purpose, play that negotiate, and more or less screw Calvary over in just of hopes of getting their ships into the warp. The more ships Calvary has in the warp, the better off you are. Also, even though Calvary may not seem like it, the way to really shut it down is to beat it down on offense. Don't negotiate with it. Don't give it any free powers, any free colonies, and beat that power down. Take out 3 home colonies, and now Calvary doesn't have that colony. Have the use of their powers due to too few home colonies. Yeah, it's... Again, Calvary is not the biggest threat in the game, but Calvary will snowball on you and can very easily win the game, not by itself, but Calvary is probably the number one power players will want as their ally if they're going for a co-win. All right, let's end it with flavor text like we always do. This race of interstellar policemen has gained quite a reputation for keeping peace on the fringes of space. Many diverse aliens have called upon the Calvary to help suppress outpost revolutions. Now the Calvary hope to rule the cosmos by becoming indispensable. And I would say, based on what we've talked about today, Calvary are well on their way towards becoming indispensable. All right. Thank you all for watching. And until next time, keep brushing up your game. Take care.